Welcome to this Tutor2U Sociology topic video for Cambridge OCR A-Level Sociology. In this video we're going to look at rational choice and preference theory, the work of Hakim. Hakim developed what she called preference theory, a rational choice approach to explaining gender inequalities in work and family life. Hakim's research stirred major debate because it challenged dominant feminist explanations, suggesting that much of the gender gap in pay, status and labour participation comes down to women's choices rather than discrimination or patriarchal structures. Hakim's work emerged in the early 2000s, a time when women's labour market participation had increased significantly across the UK and Europe, but inequalities persisted. Despite equal pay laws and anti-discrimination policies, women were still underrepresented in high-status jobs, overrepresented in part-time work, and earning less on average than men. Hakim set out to answer a central question. If legal equality has been achieved, why does gender inequality continue? Her research aimed to move the discussion beyond structural or ideological explanations, for example patriarchy, and instead examined individual choices and preferences. She argued that differences in men's and women's outcomes could largely be explained by differing lifestyle preferences and attitudes towards work and family. Her key claim was that women's labour market position reflects the choices they make rather than the barriers they face. Hakim's theory sits within a rational choice and partly Weberian individualist tradition. She draws on Weber's ideas of social action, that people act intentionally based on goals and meanings, and on the economic rational choice model, which assumes individuals weigh costs and benefits when making life decisions. However, her theory directly challenges feminist perspectives, which tend to see gender inequality as the product of patriarchal structures, gender socialization, and institutional bias. Hakim argued that such structural explanations were becoming outdated in modern Western societies, where women now have genuine freedom to choose between work and family. In that sense, preference theory is also linked to post-feminism, the idea that major barriers have been removed and women now enjoy real equality of opportunity. What remains, Hakim suggests, are differences in preferences, not constraints. Hakim's work combined quantitative and qualitative methods across several studies in Britain and Europe. Her 2006 work brought together years of research, including surveys, secondary data analysis, and interviews. From a quantitative approach, Hakim analysed national labour surveys to examine patterns of female employment, part-time work and occupational segregation. From a qualitative viewpoint, she used interviews and attitude surveys to classify women's orientation towards work and family life. The data in Hakim's research included women from various age groups, classes and family situations, mostly in the UK and Europe, making her findings broadly generalisable. This mixed methods approach allowed her to link statistical trends with individual motivations, a key feature of rational choice sociology. Hakim proposed that in societies where women have equal access to education, contraception and employment rights, they can freely choose between different lifestyles. She identified three main preference groups among women. Firstly, home-centred women, which accounted for about 20% of the population. These women prioritised family life and children over paid work. They often left the workforce or worked part-time after having children. A second group were adaptive women, which accounted for around 60% of the workforce. The majority aimed to balance work and family, but often accepted part-time or flexible jobs. Finally, Hakim identified work-centred women, around about 20%. These were highly committed to their careers. often delaying or forgoing having children, and prioritised achievement and professional success. Hakim argued that men's choices are less varied because social expectations still push men towards full-time work. Therefore, gender inequality in pay and promotion reflects women's own lifestyle preferences, not necessarily discrimination. For example, she pointed to statistics showing that women who remain continuously in full-time employment experience much smaller gaps with men than women who work part-time or take career breaks. Hakim concluded that gender inequality in advanced Western society is largely a result of differing lifestyle preferences among women, rather than structural barriers or discrimination. In other words, inequality persists because of choices, not because of patriarchy. She argued that policymakers and employers should stop assuming all women want the same things, and instead recognise diversity in female aspirations. She also claimed that feminist analyses had become outdated, what she called feminist mythology, because they ignored this diversity of preference. Her conclusion was provocative, suggesting that in modern societies, women were not victims, but agents of their own destiny. Hakim's preference theory was groundbreaking but deeply controversial. It introduced the idea of agency into gender inequality debates and is supported by empirical evidence showing diversity in women's work choices. It also challenged more deterministic views of gender socialization and patriarchy. However, critics argued that Hakim overstates women's freedom of choice. Structural constraints like childcare costs, gendered expectations, and employer bias still limit what women can choose. Sociologists such as Walby and Somerville both suggest that equality of opportunity remains incomplete. Women's choices often occur within male-dominated institutions. And Crompton argued that Hakim ignored how class and income shape choices. It's only middle-class women who truly have the freedom to choose. Furthermore, preference theory underplays intersectionality, how race, class and age combine with gender. And some claim it has been used politically to justify inaction on workplace inequality, by stating that women just choose to work less. Although controversial, Hakim's ideas remain influential in public debates about the gender pay gap, work-life balance and family policy. Even when disagreeing, sociologists still engage with her claims, making it a key study for Cambridge OCR sociology students to know. For Cambridge OCR sociology students, you can use Hakim to explain reasons for continuing gender inequality. For example, that women make different rational choices about work and family, prioritising different goals. Hakim's work can also be used as a rational choice or post-feminist explanation, and contrasted with feminist and Marxist perspectives. Explaining Hakim's theory on preference groups, analysing what her findings suggest about agency and constraint, and we could evaluate these points by using feminist and intersectional critiques. We can also conclude that preference theory explains part of the picture, but ignores enduring structural inequalities. In summary, Hakim provides a great contrast study where feminists stress structure, Hakim emphasises choice. That concludes this Tutor2U Sociology topic video for Cambridge OCR A-Level Sociology. In this video we looked at rational choice and preference theory, the work of Catherine Hakim. Thanks for watching.